Okay, how is everybody? We haven't done a break in a while, so hopefully everybody's doing well. We've, of course, got a new release tonight, which is Heritage Baseball. And, our new releases are always fun, so looking forward to getting into that. We may have a team available. That's the way it looks right now. We've got one that sold and wasn't paid for. I was hoping that we'd get lucky tonight and maybe everybody would make their payments, but as it stands right now, we've got one person that didn't. There's always one, right? And after we go over our information, if that team is still sitting there unpaid, then we'll offer it up and see if any of you want to pick it up in chat. But first things first, let's go over some information while everybody's getting in the room and getting settled. So feedback is automated. Anytime that you leave positive feedback from me, you are instantly going to get positive feedback in return. That's why we love automation, isn't it? No waiting. One of the few things you can say has no waiting. And of course, the other thing there is to say thank you. Do appreciate you being here, bidding, breaking, chatting, and hanging out with me. We are looking next at what's coming up. Actually, no, I've got them backwards. See, it's been a while since I've done this. Normally, we would be looking at what's coming up in the days ahead. Instead, we're looking at shipping. So let's just flip that around because that's really quick. Yeah, there's nothing scheduled right now. As you probably noticed, we're not doing as much breaking on eBay these days. And right now, we don't have anything scheduled at least through Tuesday. We'll probably try to drop something in at some point next week. There is only one new release. It's a basketball release that comes out on Wednesday, and we will not be breaking that on eBay, I don't think. Okay, so then now we're up to the shipping part of things. So I'm going to project that this will ship out on Wednesday. Now, there's a lot of cards in here that have to be sorted and prepped for shipping. And I, unfortunately, have a commitment for this weekend and up through Monday. So that means I'll be working on it primarily Tuesday and getting it out the door to you on Wednesday. If I get lucky and can sneak any free time in that I'm not expecting, and can get it out to you sooner, of course I will. But right as it stands now, I wouldn't plan on it shipping prior to Wednesday. Now, let me see. Let me bring you back to my main view for a second. And let's go see if our straggler has paid for their team or not. And it looks like they did not. What a shock. So if someone is interested in the Pirates, that is who I have available. And it looks like they sold on eBay for $68. So if someone's interested and you want to throw out an offer, keeping in mind that that's what they sold for, I will entertain offers on the Pirates since our winning bidder did not bother to pay for their team. So I know, it happens so much on eBay. It's so frustrating. Let me get the spreadsheet updated reflecting that that's unpaid. Meanwhile, if anybody does want the Pirates, please type into chat and throw out your offer amount if anybody is, in fact, interested in the Pirates. All right, I've almost got it going here. Hang on a second. There we go. Now it's updated. And nobody's jumped in there, so I guess nobody wants the Pirates, including the person who bid on it, apparently. All right. Well, it'll just be one more person to add to our blocked list, won't it? Grows every day. All right, so we are opening a 6-box half case loose boxes 2021 Heritage Baseball, half case break and break number 1. Of course, this ended on eBay tonight, the same day it released, and the same night we're breaking it, which is Friday night, the 26th of March. You will find your team names on the left-hand side, winning bidders across from each team on the opposite side. And of course, once again, Pittsburgh Pirates are still available. Winning bidder did not pay for them. If anybody wants it, speak now or forever hold your peace. Jump into chat and throw out your offer amount if you are interested. Meanwhile, I have got one little piece of business here to do before we get started ripping. And it's pretty easy, but it's going to mess with you a little bit because I'm going to change the focus. I'm going to make your background really blurry. And you're probably feeling like, oh, that blows. I can't see anything. But you know what? It's, well, if I had not had that just happen, if it didn't just revert. if I can get it set and it stays there, what it will actually do is allow us to see our cards up a little bit closer than we would have otherwise been able to see them. So even though the background looks all blurry and nasty, yeah, the cards are going to look great as soon as we get them out in front of the camera. So that's the important part, right? The great looking cards. So who have we got in chat tonight? The Chucker says, is this the Heritage Break? It is indeed. Sean is here. Sean is offering 45 for the Pirates. Sean, is that your team? Because the person who bought it is also Sean C., who bought it and didn't pay for it. So I'm assuming that that is, I hope that that's not you offering less on your own team. Vet City Live Sports is also offered 45 for the Pirates. And the Chuckers came in at 40. Hi, Haley, and everybody else. Hi to you too. So right now we've got a tie between Vet City and Sean. And yeah, so looks like Sean came in first. So unless Vet City, unless you want to up the ante on it, that will end up going to Sean. So you've got an opportunity here. If you want to say any that you want it to go higher, then we can. If not, it's going to end up going to Sean. All right. Well, Vet City has come back at 50. So Sean, is there anything else that you want to offer up, or are you good to go letting Vet City have it? Just give me a heads up so we know how to proceed. Meanwhile, what we're going to be looking for in here, a Real One autograph or relic card in every box. And of course, we're looking at a lot of cards, 24 packs, 9 cards per pack. So it definitely takes us a while to get through these. And then, of course, the box loader there at the top as well. And where are we now? So Vet City says that they can have them for that. All right, that sounds, or rather Sean said Vet City can have them. All right, so Vet City, what I'm going to do right now is type in for you my PayPal email here. And if you would let me know, hopefully it came up where you can see it. And if you can take care of PayPal, I am going to get it closed out on eBay. And I'm also going to update the spreadsheet while you are taking care of payment. And then if you can just let me know when your side is done, I would appreciate that. So let me get a few little things done here and we'll be underway. All right, so we got canceled out there. Now let's get over here. And one more little thing to do, kids. Sorry, won't take but a second. We just have to, I just have to make it all so I can track it down and later, you know, when I'm trying to look at this going, hey, where does that need to be shipped? Got to be able to know that info, don't we? Okay. And Haley says, you hope we get a hot box. Yeah, me too, Haley. That would be nice. We'll talk about that and a few other things we might find here in a moment. So, Sean, I'm assuming that you are in the process of eBay. If you can just let me know once you have that part done, that would be fantastic. I would appreciate it. Meanwhile, while you're working on that, I am going to go ahead and get us going here. We'll look at our box loader first because, well, you know what? I've already got it here in my hot little hands. So the first one that we see is Marte for the Marlins. And these are basically just, you know, oversized baseball cards. And the set this year is reminiscent of 1972, I believe it is, right? Yeah, I think it is. Vet City says he's got it sent. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much. Hopefully we will have some good luck to reward you. Always like the mojo to reward people who step in and do us some favors, so appreciate that. All right, so I see it that has come through. It looks like it came through at 45. I thought we were at 50 with you, Vet Sports, because I think Sean was at 45. I can't really, I don't have a free hand to scroll back up through chat, but I thought we were at 50 for you. Is that not right? Anyway, I see that I see that much has popped through anyway, so we're going to move onward. And thank you again for helping us out with the unpaid team. So let's talk about some of the things that you can find in this product. Now, a lot of it is what we're used to, right? I mean, there can be black border cards in here, and those are, there are 50 of them. I don't think they're numbered in this product. I always forget, but I'm pretty sure the black borders in here are not numbered, but we all know they are really, there's only 50 of each one. And of course, there's the usual action image variations. Those are somewhat easier to spot than the nickname or the throwback variations, which are a little harder to spot as you're going through. And then there's a new variation this year called Missing Stars. And what it's talking about, of course, those little stars on either side of the team name. So that's a brand new variant for this year. And then there are some chrome parallels, which we've always had. There's the hot box parallels, which is the norm. There are short prints that are cards from, I believe it's 401 to 500. I'm pretty sure it starts with 401. So 401 to 500 are all short prints. Now, a lot of that sort of stuff, those short prints and things, we're not really probably going to catch the majority of those as we go through this live, especially since this is my first time getting my hot little hands on it. So I'm not going to pick them out real easily myself. If you see one go by that I haven't called out, you are welcome to flag it down to me there in chat. And if I can go back and find it, excuse me, then I will. And otherwise, all the cards are shipping in here, so you're going to get it kind of no matter what. But anything that I can identify going through live, of course, I will. So there we go. So, all righty. Let's see. Vet City said, "Did I get the payment?" I did. Yeah. You might not have heard me say. Yeah, it came in. It looked like I saw a notification pop up. It looked like you sent 45. I thought we were doing 50, but I did see a notification that 45 came in anyway. But I was thinking you were at 50 and Sean C had been at 45. So this is an example of one of the inserts that we'll see plenty of in here. It's just an American League postseason insert. Of course, we know what the traditional base looks like. Going a little slower through this first pack to get everybody acclimated, including myself. Another insert, Clemente, the great one, more postseason stuff. And then we've got Rookie Stars, always fun. And we know that that's for the same team, so that makes life a little easier there. And the Cy Young Award, of course, well, that's not any particular player or team, so it's going to set up in what I call our housekeeping area. And that's where we're going to set cards that we've got to deal with a little bit later, whether that means using random.org or how we're going to sort them out. So there's an Alex Bregman in action. Now, that is not an action image variant necessarily. That is just an insert set called in action. So action image variants are a little different. And then we've got this. We're going to find lots of cards like this, and they're going to be in a big pile up there in housekeeping too. Because guess what? There's tons of guys on there, tons of different teams on there. So we will have to sort out how those are given out a little bit later in the day, or in the night, I should say. And what else? More kind of league leaders. I'm going to have a bunch of piles up here in housekeeping before it's all done. That is the one thing about this set. There's lots of that sort of stuff that we have to find a home for. So, nickname, Chucker says nickname. Yes, right. There is a nickname card. Did I go past one? Oh, yep. Somebody said that the trout, we went past a trout that was the nickname variant. See, and I was too busy trying to focus on all the things I needed to tell you, and I didn't catch it as it went by, which, as I said, especially my first time going through, guys, for sure, there are going to be things that you're going to see that I probably am not going to catch because I am multitasking. Yeah, good times. Hard to do, though, sometimes, and catch all the variants in this. There's a lot to look for while also chatting and keeping an eye on chat and keeping the conversation going. And, well, my brain's old. What can I tell you? It's just old. But so yes, as I said earlier, if someone catches something like that and you realize, hey, that's first then and now we've seen, they're both Cubs, but nonetheless. So yeah, feel free, jump in there, let me know, and I will go back when I can find it easily, like we could with that, and fish it out. Otherwise, you're still going to get it. Obviously, if you see it, it belongs to you. It's going to ship to you. All the cards ship out of here. New Age Performers, this is the first time we've seen that insert. We'll see plenty of them before the night is over, but it's the first time we've seen one tonight. What else do we need to talk about? I think that's it for the most part. I think that covers most of Heritage for the year. Or not many changes in this product generally from year to year, other than they feature a different year. 1972 is what we're looking at this time. So our hit for this box is a Clubhouse Collection relic. It's AJ Puk for the A's. And honestly, I don't think it's possible to pull any more AJ Puk than we pulled last year. That guy was in everything. Everything. So, yeah. You guys are happy about the Mike Trout. He's like, Ron says, that'll be at least $100 for the Mike Trout nickname card. It should definitely be a good one. Now we've got two different players, two different teams on that as well. So we're going to scooch things down and create ourselves one more little category up there. And we'll probably have a couple more going before it's all over with too. Because guess what? Here's another one. There's RIB leaders. But basically what we're going to do, it seems like that it's a lot because you're going to see a lot of these kinds of cards. But really the way that I handle it when we get to random, it will go pretty quickly. Because we just basically random the spots on the card. So like the cards that are 8 spots, we'll just random the 8 spots. And then whatever random comes up, like if it comes up as bottom center, then all the teams that are, in the center spot on the bottom would be the ones that would get the variant, that sort of thing. So there's ways to do it to make things a little easier anyway. This is the first one that we've seen of this particular insert. That's for the Phillies. And of course, the insert itself is Boyhood Photos of the Stars. So that's a new insert for this year. Yeah, I don't think we've had that. I don't remember having that before. So we're going to say that's a new one anyway. I think it is. More Boyhood Photos of the Stars, etc. So there we go. Oh, somebody said one of the Trout sold today for $350. Somebody else said $250. Yeah. So, well, again, so you're asking, Bubby's asking about what happens with all these cards that are going up here in housekeeping. So that's kind of what I was trying to explain. So when we go to random, this is a 4-spot card. We will enter random, for instance, as top left, top right. Bottom left, bottom right. Then we'll run random. If it came up top right, it would go to whatever team is in the top right position. If it came up bottom left, it would go to whatever team was in the bottom left position on whatever cards we pull that are configured like that. That's why I have them stacked in like ones that have 8 teams, ones that have 4, ones that have 3, ones that have 2, because we'll run a different random for each card configuration, but it will answer our question for all of them. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, it'll make sense when you see it. I maybe didn't explain it super well right at this moment, but I think it'll make sense when you see it. So anyway, that's how we do it. So that way we're not having to stop and do each individual card because, gosh, there's lots of them. And if we did each individual card, well, that would take us like forever. So instead, we kind of do them in groups. So. Oh, see, there you go. Ron's got some good history for us. He said the Boyhood Photos were only in the 1972 set originally. So that's why we will not see them, have not seen them in other years of Heritage, and will not see them in future years of Heritage. I really didn't even remember it being included in the original 1972 Heritage, honestly. Now that is flipped around backwards, so there's some reason that it is. and it's some sort of insert as a result, and it is Nolan Arenado, and yeah, so some sort of insert happening there. Don't know what. Didn't catch the variant right offhand, but it is something. So anyway, or at least I'm going to assume it is. Usually if they're facing around the other way, we can plan on having something or another going on with it. So there's a lot that happens in Heritage, lots of things to look for. Rookie of the Year award goes up there and joins our Cy Young award up there waiting at the top. Now, those kinds of things, along with these flashback cards, those will go like as a group to somebody in random. So in other words, all the flashback cards will be randomed off, and some team will get all the flashback cards. All the award cards that are, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, that sort of thing, those will all be sent off by way of random. One team will get that whole little stack, if that makes sense. But of course, we'll get into that much more in depth as it comes time to do it, which will be at the end of the night. But in the meantime, that gives you a little overview. And also, if I happen to forget, if you see me forget to set something up there in one of our stacks, also, not to worry, because the way we do it, where it'll either be, team on the left, team on the right, team in the middle sort of thing, means even if I've missorted one and it's over in the main stack, I'll know exactly where to send it when we come back across it. So that's the other beauty of it, right? Keeps it all nice and easy. Easy, easy, easy. You're asking, does it random to the teams on the card? Yeah, no, it doesn't. Well, yes, it does, but yes and no. So, in other words, I'm not going to take each individual card and say these 8 teams are on it, and I'm going to type out these 8 teams. It's going to be literally the positions on the card. So, whether that's top left, bottom right, center, middle, whatever, and then whatever team falls in that position will take that card. I know it sounds confusing, but I promise it's really not. When you see it in action, it really will make sense. There's the Astros, and Bregman is our box loader for box number 2 underway here. Oh, Ron said it was French text on the Arenado, was it? Okay. I didn't notice that. Oh, yeah. I do see it now in the second row. Yep, see? I didn't look that closely. I just glanced at it and thought, I know there's something. That's why I knew there was something. I just couldn't see what. But yeah, that's it exactly, Ron. So. He says, what I'm saying is if you pull 2 of the rookie stars, would the Braves get one and the Reds get the other? No. So again, it's going to all go just exactly the way we described it, because it would take forever to sort through all of these and try to figure out at live if we have 2 of something, 4 of something, what if we have 5 of something, who's going to get the 5th one? So again, it'll be typed in left and right. We'll random between left and right, and then whatever team's on the left, if it came up left, we'd get it. Whatever team's on the right, if it comes up right, we'd get it. Because otherwise you get into too much of an issue with what happens if it's an odd numbered card, and then you also have to hope that you got them all. You got to stop and count them, make sure none are stacked over in with the regular cards. It's really much, much easier to do it, and better, in my opinion, because it takes into account all possibilities by just doing it for the spot on the card. So that way we don't have to worry about, is it odd number, is it even number? We don't have to sit and try to count them and all that fun stuff. So that's how all of those kinds of things are going to go that have multiple teams on the same card. So hopefully that made more sense anyway. Chucker says he's still in shock that he got the Mike Trout with the nickname card right off the bat, too. It did come out early, so that was some good luck. Good Friday night release day luck right there, isn't it? It's the best kind of luck to have. And anything variant in Mike Trout is always worth a little money. it almost doesn't matter what it is. You can get $100 for just about any variant that is Mike Trout, which is nice. Some of them go a lot more, of course, but you're always going to do well with that. And we have pulled him out of here before, out of Heritage High Number. We've pulled the Mike Trout Red Signature out of there. So, they put him in the products, even the more mainstream products like this. A lot of times you can pull some good Mike Trout stuff. Bubby says, oh, I could just random off the odd one. Well, I'm sorry, Bubby. It's not going to work that way because, again, you'd be asking me to stop and count. And if we did it for 2, then we'd have to do the same thing for the cards that have 4 and the same thing for the cards that have 8. Then I'd be sitting here trying to match them up in pairs, finding out what's even, what's odd. And is there enough to cover all 4 teams? Is there enough to cover all 3 teams? Is there enough to cover all 8 teams? I mean, it's really not feasible. There are a tremendous number of those variant cards in this product. I've always done it the same way that we're doing it right now for many, many years. That's how we've done it. And I think that's the most fair and efficient way to do it. So that's how we're gonna run it. So hopefully that makes sense to you, and that's how we're gonna roll with it tonight. Try to keep it fair for everybody. All right, so let's see what we can find out of this group. We've got, of course, some dual players are the same team, and several are not. Some are, some aren't. Of course, if we accidentally stacked one up there that is the same team, well, that wouldn't really matter anyway, would it? Because all the spots would be the same team. They'd still end up getting the card. But we just try to stack up the ones that need to go there, basically. Try to keep it nice and even as best that we can. And got a lot of those type of things in here. It's one of the fun parts of Heritage is looking at all the award winners and league leaders and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know how many of you are of the age where you can remember what baseball cards were like in the 70s. Now, I don't remember them as early as 1972, but I do remember what they were like in the late 70s and early 80s. Of course, you get into products like this, and there's a lot of nostalgia. It's kind of fun to open them and remind yourself of what it was like when you had those packs of cards that had the gum in it. You have to be of a certain age to remember that, of course, but yeah, that gum, oh, so nasty, so nasty. It was just like chewing wood, basically, most of the time. And it always left a stain on the card that it came up against. But of course, we didn't care then, right? Because, I mean, we were also using cards in our bike spokes and other stuff, so. But yeah, it does evoke those memories where you didn't have autographs and relic cards and all that kind of stuff. No, you did not. It was chasing the rookie cards. That was the thing. Go down and pay your quarter or whatever it was at the store and open your pack and chew that nasty wood-like gum and hope to find a rookie. All right, we have got our second box. Our hit is another Clubhouse Collection relic. This one is Aaron Hicks, and that is going out as well to, or not as well, the first one didn't go to the Yankees, but it's going out to the Yankees and a Clubhouse Collection relic as well. That's what I meant to say. In other words, both boxes have been relics. Oh, Bubby, no worries. You don't need to. He says, sorry for that you were just curious. No, always ask. It's better to ask. Always better to ask so that you understand and know what's going on for sure. It just, unfortunately, isn't feasible to really do it the way that you're talking about. If it were 1 or 2 cards, maybe that would be feasible. But unfortunately, you know what? We're talking about a lot more than that. Those stacks up there will be pretty big, generally speaking, by the time we get through 6 boxes of this. Because they love their little league leader inserts in this product. And we'll see Loads of them, that is for sure. But, all right, so other than that, they've moved around a lot of stuff again. So we've seen a bunch of release dates move, and I think I mentioned earlier, although maybe it was early enough, maybe not everyone was on the call. Let's try that again. I'm thinking Zoom, right? Maybe not everyone was in the room yet, but we discussed earlier about the fact that there's not much coming out next week, just one basketball release. So here is a Javi Baez for the Cubs, and this one was also facing the opposite way. So we've got an action, I believe that's the action image. Action, why can I not speak? Action image variation. Woo, we'll get it out in a minute. That's what it looks like to me, is that was our action image variation. So, of course, again, you find those throughout this product. They're fun to hit. They're not super, super rare, but they're not super, super common. They fall, I guess, kind of somewhere in between. All right, so that closes out box number 2, and we are getting ready to dive into box number 3. And I tell you what we're going to do is create ourselves a little extra space now that we've got a box out of the way up there. Ah, the Chuckers likes the Javi Baez. Yes, yes. Action image variants in here are always fun, especially if you can get one of the rookies. You can, depending on, of course, as always, which rookie it is, sometimes you can do really well with action image variants out of this product. So, okay, well, you know what we have here. One of our original 1972 buyback cards. This is our box loader. And as one might expect from an actual card from 1972, you know what? It's miscut, it's off-centered, it's well-loved, it's got bumped and rounded corners, it's got all kinds of stuff. I've seen them come out with creases. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It is well-loved, and it does have the 50th anniversary stamp on it. That's so you can differentiate that it is, I mean, it is a 1972 card, but anyway, that's what they do. Put the 50th anniversary stamp on the buybacks and put them in there. So that's what we have for our box loader there for the Angels, I believe that was. Some people don't like those. There are people who really like them and look forward to them. There are other people who just really don't even like the idea that they're in there. My thought has always been, well, it's a bonus. It's, you know, a freebie, basically. Topps just adds it in there for us, so hey, why not just take it, right? Take anything that's free that they want to give us. They want to give us extra hits or anything they feel like doing. I say more power to them. Let's have at it. Ah, you want a Bobby Dalbec. All right. We'll have to work on that. See if we can pull. He's going to be, well, hopefully hot. You never know about these young guys. We have our thoughts about how they're going to do. He's been a hot name, certainly up and coming, so one would assume that that's going to go ahead and translate over. We hope, anyway. It's always kind of like playing the stock market, right? Especially the Bowman products, even more so than the Topps products, because you know you're betting on prospects from early on in the Bowman product. That's definitely like playing the stock market. But I think this time of year that the rookies are like playing the stock market as well. Because, you know, we're only going off a little sample, usually, spring training sample, or maybe a sample from if they came up and played a bit last year, but you kind of don't know what you're getting into, and so you're gambling on the rookie stuff you hit. Do I keep it? And if they get better, the price is going to go way up, or do I think they've peaked and I'm going to sell it and cash in? That's always the question, isn't it? And there's a lot coming up this year, so Sorry, I got briefly sidetracked. I know I was holding that in my hand for a minute, but I saw this chrome coming up and I was like, ooh, a chrome. And I realized, oh, I'm just sitting there holding that. I know. Look at that. The Angels are having some luck tonight. Our first chrome is a Mike Trout as well, and numbered to 999. There can be some that are numbered differently, but that particular one is numbered to 999. So the very first chrome that we see tonight happens to also be Mr. Trout, headed off to the Angels, who already had the nice nickname hit earlier, so not too shabby, right? And we've got another where this is going to be a variant of some sort. Let's see who's on the front. Kyle Seager, Seattle Mariners. All right, and that one was our French variant again. That time I knew to look. Ah, see? Yeah. Because you guys were nice enough to share with me earlier and say, hey, oh wait, what am I doing? See what happens? I set them in the wrong spot every once in a while, which is, as I said, the other reason that it works out really well if we give them out based on position of the card. Another flashback, Apollo 17 landing on the moon. So generally see a few more of those than we've seen so far of the flashbacks. A little light in here. Maybe because we've got childhood photos, I guess, possibly. Might be taking up some of the space. Perhaps. Yeah, so baseball is tough this year. You know, Definitive is a product that in the past I've had no problem. I wouldn't say I've had no problem getting, because that would seem to imply I could get unlimited amounts, which was not the case. But I could generally get a case or two of it, one of the higher end products, of course. And boy, that has not been the way it is this year. My primary distributor raised the qualification, and they change it all the time. First of all, let's just say that they change what you have to do to quote unquote earn a box or a case of something. It's a moving target, and they basically change it at will so that it's always to their advantage. So know that going in. But they have changed it where you have to have $1 million spend level in the last 12 months to even earn one box of it. It's like, well, okay then. So, and now keep in mind, last year that level was, I think, 250,000 or something like that. So they've quadrupled it. Of course, the idea being that hardly anybody will qualify for it at the pre-order price, and then they'll just sell all the rest of it at a really, really high price. So yeah, getting tough out there. A Clubhouse Collection relic, Miguel Cabrera. So we're 3 boxes in. All 3 of our hits thus far have been Clubhouse Collection relics, which, let's be real, is usually what you get in here. Maybe a couple of autographs in a case. The rest are generally the relics. But that's not the only reason we like it, so it's okay. Because we like our variants and our league leaders and all of the other fun stuff that comes in Heritage that makes it special. So the autographs and the relics aren't really entirely the selling point of Heritage. But it's Rangers rookie stars. Of course, a lot of off-season moves too. So man, it will take me a while to get used to it. I'll see some guys in autopilot, you know. You just get to where you just associate somebody with a team so closely, especially if you break, when I break a lot, because it just is automatic. You see the person and you start to say blah 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 team, and then you have to stop and think now. Oh wait, they're traded. They're not with that team anymore. But it does take a hot second to think that through early in the season. Well, preseason at this point. Right around the corner, April 1st, and full season, full steam ahead. No shortened season this year, so maybe enough people will have had their shots. They'll start letting more people in the ballpark. I don't know how they're going to decide when that happens, but I'm sure they've got some kind of plan in place. Of course, I'm a Reds fan. Those of you who have done breaks with me before, you know this about me. If you haven't done a break with me before, you might not know that. But yes, my poor basement dwelling Reds. They weren't always that way, but boy, they have been for about, I don't know, 100 years. Not really 100 years, but listen, it feels like it. And then we sort of get, I don't know, I wouldn't even say our act together, but we made strides last year. And then, of course, they just turn around and let Trevor Bauer walk and get rid of so many other pieces, and typical way the Reds do things. So I imagine we'll be back at another 100-loss season or close to it. Makes me crazy. Like, is it possible for a team to just constantly rebuild? Is it possible to never exit the rebuilding phase? I wonder about that. So, Bubby says, glad somebody else likes the Reds other than me, LOL. Yeah, I'm a Reds fan, man. It's rough going, but I am. Okay, so we have got the Dodgers and Mookie Betts for our box loader here out of, what are we on? Box number 4 this is that we're getting ready to start on. So yeah, Bubby, life is rough being a Reds fan, right? I mean, it's so frustrating. And I often talk about rivalries. And, they'll be talking about, Red Sox versus Yankees and blah, blah, blah. And, the fan bases are so passionate, which I understand because I'm a Steelers fan in football and I'm graduated from UK. So I'm a UK Wildcats fan, college basketball, etc. So for sure, we have rivalries that I feel very intense about in other sports, but not in baseball because the Reds just are so bad. I never expect them to win. And I think that you have to have some expectation that your team can win before you develop a true rivalry where you're like, have that intense emotion. I just don't have it for my poor little Reds. They just can't seem to get it together. Vet City says, am I in Kentucky? I am. Just like your Vet City means you're in Bowling Green. Yes, indeed. I know about it. Yeah, I am in Kentucky. I graduated from UK. I'm born in Kentucky, went to school here, lived out in California for a few years, and then decided to come back to Kentucky where you can actually afford to buy a place to live. Imagine that. Imagine that. Bubby, what did you say? The Reds are a small market team, can't afford to pay the big time contracts. Well, that's true. But here's the thing. They also have made some really bad decisions trade-wise over the years. They do all these, lately, they've been doing all these short-term rentals of free agents. And sometimes we trade away really good pieces out of our farm system to somebody else. Or we develop guys and we bring them up and you see that they're going to be great, and then you just let them go. You make no attempt to keep them when it comes time to pay them a little money. And that's really what we should be doing, because we've had pretty good players up through our farm system and continue to have pretty good players come up through the farm. But then we don't keep them. We either trade them off for weirdo trades or something like that. We're always doing something that just doesn't make sense. But, look at all the guys who used to be Reds who are really quite successful somewhere else. You know what? There's a lot of them. And it's frustrating. Not that I could do any better. I'm sure I couldn't. They don't have unlimited money, but they also, I think, make bad decisions. I really do. I didn't like the Moustakas contract either. Really didn't. I liked the guy, but at his age and where we were, not in win now mode, I did not think that we should have dropped that money on him. I would have said, keep the money and sign a couple of other players that are going to be around a while. You got this guy for 2 or 3 years, but he's old. He's past his prime. He didn't contribute as much as they thought he would. He definitely contributed. Don't get me wrong. The guy's very talented, and I like him a lot. But what we paid him is not what we needed to do as Cincinnati Reds with our limited budget, in my opinion. But anyway, enough of that. Enough of me complaining about the Reds and the way their front office works. Vet City Sports says, what part of Kentucky? I am in good old Lexington these days. Yeah, so not too far from my good old University of Kentucky. Of course, boy, we were bad this year too. My teams just stunk this year. Oh, yay, autograph. The Reds were actually the best of my teams, believe it or not, because the Steelers started off hot and then just played like crap down the stretch. And of course, we all know what happened with UK basketball. And look what we have here, Kansas City. You have got an autograph, so not a relic this time. And we come up with the Ron Hansen autograph for Kansas City. So there you go. Box number 4 was lucky. Lucky box number 4. So yeah, I guess it is bad when the Reds did the best of all of the teams I root for. The Kentucky Wildcats were horrible this year. They were not good in football, and they were tremendously bad in basketball. I think they said it was the worst team that we have had at Kentucky for basketball since like 1929 or 1927, 1920 something. And that's hard to do, man. It's hard to be the worst team since 1920 something. But what are you going to do? That's all you can do. Well, I know that they like to trade them so they can get something for them and not let them go in free agency. And that's fine when you get to a certain point. I mean, it's not fine, but if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. But I'm talking about when they make these trades to get these older guys like Moustakas, etc., and then they're trading away key pieces out of the farm system, which would still be cheap talent for a number of years if they would just keep them and not go get the old rentals. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm sure I wouldn't be able to do any better. I'd probably have a worse team than they already have. So look at that. Got it upside down. Let's try that again. One more time. And it is Nate Pearson. So we've got a little Blue Jays rookie variation there. And that is, believe it or not, that is an action image variant. And the reason that it is because most of our rookies come on the shared cards, right? So when they're off by themselves like that, it makes them an action image variant in this particular product. A flashback to The Price is Right. Okay, well, that's interesting. But anyway, it was, he says, oh no, the first year after the scandal was really bad. Well, it was really bad, but I'm telling you that they said that this was, as far as the records, one loss record, that this team was the worst team since 1920 something. So yeah, it was really bad after the scandal. You're not wrong about that. But still worse since 1920 something. So yet most of those guys are going to declare for the draft. A good amount of them really probably shouldn't. But hey, they're going to, and somebody will draft them or they'll play overseas or whatever. So yeah, he says they were 13 and 19 that year. Exactly. We won 9 games this year. That's it. 9 games. I mean, obviously we didn't even make the tournament. Nothing. Oh, it's terrible. It was such a frustrating year. And so little on to watch. What a year to be horrible. Then all I want to do is like scream at the television. But, I come from a family of sports screamers. I don't know how else to describe it. But yeah, my dad was one of the get down in the floor, scream at the TV kind of guys. And my mom is a kind of scream at the TV kind of person. She likes sports as well. And, my sister and I, we just kind of ended up the same way. So we're very passionate, I think is the right way to say it, right? Yeah. Looked like that was going to be, I guess it's not though. That might be well, it is. It's a short print. Um, Anything 401 to 500, remember, short print, that one was to 423. They're technically short prints, although they're fairly plentiful. So, for whatever that's worth. And there have been others, no doubt. That just happened to be one that caught my eye, so I actually caught it live. But I guarantee you, there have been lots more short prints 401 to 500 that we haven't caught live. I just happened to see that one. So, you said you're that way with Western Kentucky. Oh, the Hilltoppers making you crazy, are they? Oh, that's nice. A little Casey Mize box topper for Detroit and the Tigers. Fortunately, I have all different sizes top loaders, so we ought to have something that'll fit those little box loaders with a nice little sleeve and top loader that will be size appropriate for those little bad boys if you've got one of them coming to you. I've actually got so many supplies there. They've taken over. They've overrun the living space. Because, for a while it was nearly impossible to get them. When the pandemic first started last year, about, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks in, I happened to think, and I mean, by 2 or 3 weeks in, I'm talking before it like majorly was a major thing here. So we're talking like February-ish, but it had been going on in China for a bit by then. And I happened to think, oh boy, all of our stuff that we use to protect the cards, it's all made in China. So I ordered a boatload of it. Like I already had plenty of supplies, and I dropped another, I don't know, what I don't remember, $1,000-$1,500, which is a lot of supplies, and shipped in a bunch more. And then as I started working my way through those, I thought, then things got a lot worse here, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna run out again. I gotta start ordering again. And then places were out, and so if you could find somebody that had it, you just ordered a ton. And then, of course, the product slowed down after I've ordered it. 9 bazillion cases of top loaders and sleeves and supplies, and they've overrun every inch of everything. And then all of a sudden, printing presses shut down, and then they fire them back up, but print less product, and we're getting like a fifth of what we used to get. So now I've just got a house full of supplies. The family just loves it. I say that facetiously because, we're practically using them as end tables. It's just everywhere. But anyway, the moral of the story is somewhere in all of that warehouse of supplies, I have got top loaders and sleeves that will fit those lovely little box loaders. Oh, the Chuckers said you did not see the box loader, the last one. It was Casey Mize for the Tigers, but we do recap at the end, so you get a chance to see it then too. So, oh, Western Kentucky, you won 21 games this season? I didn't realize that. Well, that's good. Congratulations. That's really good. I must confess, I did not. Oh, that's all Braves. No, it's not. I did not watch as much college sports as I normally do, basketball wise, because I did get so frustrated with how badly Kentucky was playing, and it just kind of, I don't know. I just found that I didn't watch as much, except of course tournament time. Boy, that I was so glad to have March Madness back. We had basketball on every hour of the day. And now we'll be getting ready to have it on again, although not every hour of the day, but we got a little bit more yet before we get to the final game, which I predicted would be Baylor and Gonzaga And I predicted Baylor to beat the Zags, but that probably means the opposite will happen. I'm not great with my brackets. Just being honest. My brackets are not really very good most of the time. Well, now in fairness, a lot of the times it's because I get caught up in Kentucky, right? And you think, because that's my team, and I think, oh, I don't want to pick against them. I really don't know if they'll win this game, but oh, I don't want to pick against them because that just seems like it would jinx them. So then you kind of have that sentimental aspect of it that, messes up my picks a little bit. So I didn't have that this year, but then I had a bit of a handicap in the sense that I hadn't watched as much college basketball in general as I normally do. So I missed the mark on a bit of it. I hit a couple of the upsets, but boy, I missed a couple too. So, and it does not take but one or two upsets to just trash your bracket, right? Can be, anyway. Can be. Oh, did I let something roll by there, Vet City? Did I not pull something that I should have pulled? I see you typed in triple rookie. Did I stack it to the right instead of up there? Is that what you're telling me? Because if I did, and it wasn't all for, well, it should have all been for the same team though. If it was triple rookie, maybe I stacked it up there and I should have stacked it over there. Well, at any rate, they all ship, so it will definitely get to the right place. Even if I didn't stack it in the right spot, it will get to the right spot. Okay, so this is the Met and Jacob deGrom, and it seems to be a team color is our variant on the Jacob deGrom for the Mets. So those you don't find as often, obviously, as some of the others. So nice little team color variant there. If you've got the New York Mets, so that'll be good stuff. You said I pulled one that didn't that didn't need to be up there. Yeah, well, sometimes I do that. That's what I said. Sometimes I stack them in one spot or the other, but I still know where to put them when it comes time to sort them because of the fact that we do it by spot on the card. So that's why I don't sweat too much if I stack one on the opposite direction. But of course, stacking a rookie up there wouldn't mess up anything anyway because, well, all three spots be the same team. So no matter the roll of the dice, it would go to the right home in that instance. But yeah, it is easier if I keep them in the right area, but sometimes I get them stacked incorrectly. So this is numbered. It's Josh Bell. It's numbered to 99. It's a game-used memorabilia card. Another Clubhouse collection. Still a Pirate here on this card, so that is where it will be headed, to Pittsburgh and the Pirates. Usually, on guys that have been traded, relics and autographs will often reflect the prior team for several releases, even though sometimes the base cards will be correct and show the team or show the player with their new team. The hits will still be set to the old team. And that is because they print them first, especially the autographs, but I think they're relics too. They print those cards ahead of when they print the base, because obviously the auto stuff's got to go out, get signed, come back, be inserted, and all that kind of fun stuff. So, yeah. Sometimes and there have been plenty of times actually in Topps products where a guy gets traded and you'll actually have him in the same product for both teams. His base will be for the new team and his hit will be for the prior team. So it's not super uncommon, but anyway, point is that particular Josh Bell said Pirates on it, so that's where it's going to go. But of course, he is no longer a Pirate, but always going to go to the team on the card. There's more rookie stars. And we are headed into big box number 6. Looking for some last box mojo here. Bring us home something extra good, we hope, out of the last box, right? Sometimes last box mojo works. And we've got another buyback for the Angels, 1972 Angels team card. And like our other well-loved, well-worn, you know, especially on your edges and corners, etc. All right. Off to the races on the last one. Hopefully we're going to find something awesome. I mean, we've got some pretty good stuff, I think, but I'd still like to find some other really good stuff. I'm going to be greedy on your behalf, right? Hoping that we find something else excellent that you will have some luck with. Make a little money on it, maybe. Right. Sat it down half between the stack and not. I think the mail is a little better these days, seems to be. Of course, when the height of everything was going on, my gosh, there were packages of cards that some of them took over 30 days to deliver. I think the longest one was somebody hit a baseball bat, an autographed baseball bat, which of course it's big, right? You would think that'd be hard to lose. I saw that one, so we're just gonna go ahead and grab it right now. And it took, oh boy, I don't even remember now. Like, it did not scan from the time it scanned as having been picked up from me, never scanned again until the day it was delivered. And it was like 60 or 70 days from the time I mailed it until the time it scanned again and showed up. Like, I had already just refunded the guy because I'm like, well, you know, this is never going to show up. And then it did. And there were a handful of other packages that also were 30 to 45 days to deliver. And several of them didn't scan for 3+ weeks at a time. It was awful. And even into January and February, things were better, but packages were still moving pretty slowly. And so was some regular mail. Like, you know, one guy sent me something from another dealer, sent me something from, I don't remember if it was Michigan or Minnesota, but anyway, one of the northern states. And it took almost a month to get here. And it was just like a flat. Like, where's all this stuff going? What are these people doing with everything? But I think they've about got caught up. So once we do actually get this on the way to you, which again, I'm projecting that this will get shipped out to you approximately Wednesday. If I can get it done sooner, I will, but I do have a prior commitment for this weekend that will roll all the way through Monday. So I'm anticipating Wednesday as your shipping date. And I would think that we should probably be pretty close to normal, as in once it is shipped, it will take maybe 3 to 5 days to get there. Occasionally, there's still one that's an outlier that takes longer than it should, but that seems to be less and less and less. We're getting more back to normal with the mail, which is great. Because that was really stressful when they kept, because, you know, I felt like a lot of the stuff was going to show up, and some of it, well, really, I think ultimately all but one ultimately showed up. But I had, of course, had to refund a few people in between once we were hitting 30 and 45 day marks. You know, you couldn't at that point assume it was still going to show up, but all of it did, except for I think one. So those people lucked out, didn't they? Well, lucky and not lucky. Lucky in the sense that they got their item or their cards and their money. Not lucky in the sense that they had to wait, well, 30 or 45 days. So, guess it all depends on how you look at it, right? But anyway, I think we're mostly back to normal. So we have another Chrome, our second one of the break. Should also be numbered to 999 because it has a white border, and that is Brandon Lowe. And it is numbered to 999, and that's headed to the Tampa Bay Rays. Another fun little flashback card. It was The Price is Right again. We saw that earlier, and well, now we have it again. So who is everybody most looking forward to seeing play once we get back underway? What rookies do you think are going to be the most fun to watch? Well, once we finally get them up, you know how it is. They're going to manipulate their service time and keep a handful of them down, but there'll be a few that'll fight their way onto the roster right out of the gate. Hey, we got a black border, which of course is puzzle piece on the back, and as we discussed at the top of the break, the black borders, although they are not numbered, they are limited to 50 copies per card. So even though it doesn't say such and such of 50, it is really such and such of 50. There are 50 of them. Jose Ramirez, Cleveland Indians. So that's a nice little bump if you've got the Indians coming out of the last box. A little last box mojo happening for you there. Just the way we like it. All right, what else have we got? Just a tiny little stack left, but we haven't seen our hit yet, have we? I don't think we have. I don't remember seeing it. I think we're still looking for it in this box anyway. Oh, there's that Grinky short print again. For some reason, that one always catches my eye. It's because it's so different, right? I mean, just the close-up of the face, but yeah. So anyway, that's a 3. Gotta go up in the 3s. You like the Rays High A team, the Bowling Green Hot Rods. Okay. Well, of course, our local team, Single A, got cut in the realignment. So Lexington Legends were one of the teams that they said, "Oh, thank you. See you later," or not. So we don't have them anymore. They were once upon a time the affiliate of the Astros, which was fun. There were a lot of good Astros that came through here, including Altuve. And it was fun. And then they became affiliated with Kansas City Royals after that. And they were Royals affiliates when they said, "See ya. See you later." All right. Now, did we have a hit in here? We didn't, did we? No. Oh, very last card. I'm going, man, it didn't feel like there was a hit in my hand. And I'm like, man, did they short us a hit? No, it's the very last card. Last card of the last box. Philadelphia Phillies. And one Aaron Nola Clubhouse Collection Relic. There we go. All right. Oh, yeah, that's right. Wander Franco would have come through there. I forgot about that. That is a good one. Yeah, that would be fun to watch. I'm with you on that. All right, so we have got a lot of housekeeping to do. Yes, we do. First thing we're going to do is sort these into awards and flashbacks because we're going to use random.org and give these a new home. Now, let me tell you a little bit about how random.org works. When we have fewer than 10 items in a list, I run random 3 different times. The first 2 do not count, only the third random counts. If there are 10 or more items in a list, we run random 1 single time. So I'm telling you this because these first 2 obviously have 10 or more in the list because there are 30 Major League Baseball teams. So we will do a random that will award this little package of award cards to one particular team. So I will cut and paste all 30 teams in there, hit random 1 single time. Whatever team comes up in the number 1 position after I randomize, we'll get those. And we'll turn around, rinse and repeat, run it again. And the second time, the person or the team that comes up in the number 1 position will get the set of flashbacks cards. Now, once we have those dealt with, we will then come along and handle all of our multi-team cards up there, which there are, well, just vast numbers. Okay, so that is how we're going to roll along and do things. And let me get us on the right page here. At least I think I can get, there we go. Yeah, now we're on the right page. Like I was on the right page, I left you on the wrong page. So we're just going to copy all of our team names here from the spreadsheet and then truck right on over here to random.org, paste them in, and let it do the heavy lifting. All right, so I'll scroll through here so you can verify, of course, that all 30 teams were correctly on the spreadsheet and have been copied and pasted and dropped in there. So we are first giving away the stack of award cards. So the Cy Young Award, Rookie of the Year Award, whatever awards are in there, that's where they're going. 30 teams means 10 or more items in our list, randomizing once. Here we go. And it is headed to Minnesota and the Twins. And I'm writing that down so that I will know it for later, too. All right. Now we're going to just go back and do it again, this time for flashbacks. So that's that little set of flashbacks cards that you saw me separate out there a moment ago. So same deal, scrolling, all the teams are in there, etc. Good luck. Here we go. This one comes up to Kansas City. Okay, so the Royals getting the flashbacks. And let me just write that down real quickly. And then I'm going to bring you back to me and we're going to start working on all the other stuff up in housekeeping. So Kansas City Royals getting the little stack of flashbacks cards, and the awards winners there ended up going to the Twins. All right, so now we know how those are handled. Let's deal with this big one first. Yeah, I'm going to deal with this big stack. So these are the 2020 National League home run leaders. All right, they're all the same card. There are not 8 of them. You saw me count that. So there are not 8 of them. So it cannot be 1 per team. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to random. And this is easy because they've numbered them for us. Haha, how you like that? I love it. Works well for this. So I'm just simply going to number it the same way, 1 through 8. And because we have fewer than 10 items in our list this time, random will be run 3 different times. And the first 2 times will not count. It's only going to be the 3rd random that's going to determine where that little group of cards goes. Okay, so it'll either go, whoever corresponds with 1 through 8, however random gives it up to us. All right, so here's our 1 through 8. And you ignore the first one, ignore the second one. Here comes our 3rd and final. There you'll see we randomized it 3 times. Our date and time stamp, it gives it to the card or the team in the 8th spot, which just so happens to be the Dodgers and AJ Pollock. Okay, so again, all the same card, and the spot number 8 came up. So the Dodgers getting those, and let me get those in a little separate pack so that all this stuff stays separate. All right. Oh, that sounded like it pulled the sticky off there too, but I guess it didn't. Oh, sounded brutal though, didn't it? And I'm just going to write on the back of the bag here that is Dodgers. And that way I will know. And again, that's on the bag I wrote. You saw that. I did not write on your card, okay? I always have to feel like I have to demonstrate that, because if you don't, somebody at some point will be like, oh my God, you wrote on my card. Promise I didn't. Promise. Swear I didn't. And very handily, they have also numbered these for us, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Used to be I had to type in upper left, upper right, etc. Not this time, kids. They are numbered 1 through 4. So that's what we're going to do here. Same thing, rinse and repeat, except instead of 1 through 8, 1 through 4. So let's get ourselves back over to random and roll these through. And again, it will be the third time that counts, not the first two. Okay, pay no attention to the first one or the second one. Third one is the one that matters. 3 times, date and time stamp. That one goes to the extreme opposite, position number 1. So the first random took the last spot on a card. Next random takes the first spot on the card. Okay, so that means we are headed to different teams here. So we've got the Yankees, the White Sox. There's Yankees again, Yankees, Yankees, and White Sox. Okay, so that's how that's going to go in that upper left-hand spot that is numbered as 1. So you'll notice again, this I put that in a sleeve. Of course, I'm not writing on your actual card. I'm just merely circling 1 for each set so that when it comes time to sort, I will look at it and know exactly where it goes. Isn't that handy, right? Yeah, it means it'll go faster when it comes time to ship this stuff out. Now, this is a gigantic stack of stuff, just huge. Excuse me. And all of these are 2-team, 2-player. There may be some that are single team in there, but the intent is that these are all 2-team cards. And you can see there's just a left and a right. So this is going to be very simple. I'm just making sure I don't have any triples or quads or anything else stacked in there. And it doesn't look like we do. These are all 2s. So that's how that's going to go. Same as we've done, except this time just using left and right as we go back over to random again. All right, left and right. Okay, number 1 random doesn't matter. Neither does the second one. Third one's for all the marbles here. 3 times, date and time stamp, and it is giving us the team on the right. So I'm just going to take the top one off of this stack, put it in a sleeve and circle it, and that way I'll know which way they all go. So that's how it's going to work. So the White Sox, I mean, I'm not going to read all these off, but for instance, the Reds, the Braves, the Indians, the Royals, etc. So you can see as we go through them, it's going to be whatever team is on the right-hand side of the card throughout this entire stack. That's where all the 2s go. So, all right, there was, I think there's a Brave, there's a Ranger, there's some Reds. So we've got quite a few different teams in there, some White Sox, Indians, etc. A Mariner. So that's how those all go. Team on the right. We've got one more stack up here to deal with before we do our recap. And these are 3s. So this is going to be left, middle, right. And again, fewer than 10 items in our list means we'll do random 3 times. Thank goodness for random, right? Otherwise, we'd be like rolling dice for all of time and eternity trying to get this done, wouldn't we? So thank goodness for random. I think I made a typo. Yeah, I did. Well, you know what I meant, but I guess I'll just fix it real quick. Okay, so first one doesn't matter. Second one doesn't matter. Third one does. 3 times. Our date and time stamp gives us the team on the right. Right-hand side has been lucky today as far as random goes, hasn't it? So same as before, going to take one off the top and circle that far right picture so that I know where it's headed. So we've got Astros. Again, I won't read all these off, but you're going to get the idea. There's a Yankee, a Twin, a Brave, a Philly, etc. Some A's. I mean, lots of variety in here, but these are all 3-team cards, and all of them will go to whatever team is on that far right picture. Okay. And a couple more to look at there. All right. And that squares you away with those. So now we know how they're awarded. There was Padre in there too. Machado, I saw him on one of them. Now we're going to get down to the business of doing a little recapping here. Now, of course, there are, I'm certain, short prints in there of the 401 to 500 variety that we did not catch going through. So, again, if it's in there, you're going to get it. Everything ships. Doesn't mean that it's not in there just because I didn't catch it visually or call it out. You may have even seen it. You probably did catch some that I didn't catch. Usually takes me a time or two of breaking it before I can catch them all visually. All right, so let's look at our box loaders. We have a Casey Mize for the Tigers, Mookie Betts for the Dodgers, the Astros and Alex Bregman, Starling Marte for Miami Marlins. Our other two box loaders, these are original cards from 1972. They're actual 1972 buyback cards. As such, they're, kind of miscut and well-loved, and they've got, terrible corners and edges and such, but that's how they came to us. And they are both for the Angels, both of our buyback box loaders. Got one black border. These are not actually numbered on the card, but they are. There are only 50 of each black border in Heritage, so you know that's, even though it doesn't say to 50, it's to 50. And that is Jose Ramirez for the Indians. And we've got a Jacob deGrom here that is a team color for the Mets, followed by Nate Pearson. Of course, that's a rookie. That is a single rookie, not in with the group of rookies. Technically, they make those action image variations in this product, but that's why it is an action image variant. Then you have the Mike Trout, very early one that you all caught and I missed because I was too busy trying to figure out what all I was looking at in there. Is the nickname for Mike Trout, Millville Meteor. Then I did catch at least the one short print visually, and that's Greinke for the Astros. Again, everything 401 to 500 falls into that category. Then we've got ourselves a Kyle Seager here for the Mariners. That one had the French text on the back. Javi Baez is a true action image variation. And then we've got Nolan Arenado, and Nolan there for the Rockies also had the French text on the back. Had a couple of chromes, both numbered to 999. One is headed to the Tampa Bay Rays, and the other one is headed off to the Angels. There's another Mike Trout. Now our hits, which fell one per box. A Clubhouse Collection relic for Aaron Nola and the Phillies. And then we have one for Josh Bell and the Pirates. It happens to be numbered. You can see up there on the upper left. It's numbered to 99 for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Managed to come up with one autograph in here tonight, and it's Ron Hansen for Kansas City and the Royals. Miggy, Tigers, Clubhouse Collection relic. Aaron Hicks, Yankees, Clubhouse Collection relic. And then AJ Puck for the Oakland A's with a Clubhouse Collection relic. All right, so that is the break and the recap. Now, I will put up the shipping information, etc. here one more time. So if anybody did not catch it earlier or you didn't hear me speaking about it somewhere along the way, we're going to put it up here and take a little peek so that everybody knows what to expect. And we don't have anybody going, hey, where's my stuff? So this is the deal. Everybody pulled cards in here, so ton of cards. Obviously, we don't have to worry about consolation cards. Everybody's going to have some for their team. I'm expecting this to ship out on Wednesday. So it's a lot to sort and ship and get out the door. And unfortunately, I already had a prior commitment for this weekend and through Monday. So that means I'm probably going to be getting this out on Wednesday. Take me Tuesday to get it sorted and ready and be out to you on Wednesday is the plan. If I can possibly get it out to you sooner than that, I will happily do so. And normally we would take a look and talk about, hey, what's coming up in the days ahead, but guess what? It's a bunch of off nights for a little while, and we're still just not seeing a real steady flow of product and still getting a lot less product than I would normally get. So we'll continue to be sporadically breaking things. Next week, there's only one new release, and that's a basketball release. And I don't believe I'm going to break that on eBay. So, yeah, so I don't know. We may come up with something towards the end of next week, or it may just roll over into the following week when we get some more new releases. We'll just have to see what's out there, what I can get my hot little hands on. So in the meantime, hey, thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate you very much. I hope that you have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy it. And finally, it's spring, thank goodness. So that makes everybody happier. Well, maybe not everybody, but most people. So anyway, stay safe and happy and healthy. Enjoy yourself. And we'll be back at it sometime soon when I can get my hot little hands on something else interesting to break. All right, we'll see you the next time. Bye now.